Yeah, Tony, definitely watching a few ball games. Got ESPN Plus fired up all over the place, and yeah, we had some interesting results. Certainly, even so far. The private play on the under thought was looking good in that game with Madison and Coppin, double overtime. That'll start your day off pretty crummy. But other than that, interesting games so far, and couldn't help but laugh when Mindy talking about Austin Reed last week in the transfer portal, and this week driving around in a new Corvette. So you wonder how NIL really works. He got hooked up with high-end realtor there, Hank Wilson, in Kentucky, in Bowling Green, and Bowling Green, Kentucky. That is, with Western Kentucky, and well, he's staying. So you want to know how NIL works? That's kind of how it works.
That's how it works. Yeah, give me. I'll rather pay the Conference USA than the Mac guy. That's how you roll there. Poor Mac. Anyway, we're going to the NBA. Interesting one here is the Magic here. This has been a little darling for people here as they've been winning, covering, and getting some players healthy. They're going to be on the road here facing the Rockets. The Magic here a point favorite, total 223.5.
Yeah, I like this Magic team. I've been touting them a little bit on the morning steam as a team that I think I might be going against the public here a little bit. I think they'll finish closer to the playoffs than they will to the lottery, to the good ball spot in the lottery. So I think they have a little bit of a nice future here. And the Rockets, they have shown some life as well at home, and they both have two spectacular young players that I really like to see. So how will it shake down? Orlando had that 6-game winning streak snapped. Tony, they almost made it seven. They lost to Atlanta on those last free throws there, 126, 125, in a high scoring game against another mediocre team, right? So kind of comparing mediocre teams and high scores is going to what I'm looking at. Orlando during that winning streak, they beat Toronto twice. Of course, they beat Boston twice. They beat the Clippers. They beat Atlanta before the Hawks came back to beat them by one. They're still pretty poor on the road. Orlando, they're 23rd in adjusted net defense and 114 points a game. Houston, they're not any good either in adjusted net defense, allowing 115 points per game. Now, both teams are in the bottom 10 in adjusted offensive efficiency, but of course, they're usually going up against teams that are better than them. Here against like ilk, if you will, I think it's time for the offenses to shine a little bit. These two young teams will enjoy getting out in space a little bit, I think, and putting up some points. Houston has lost three straight, but they played decent at home. They did allow 124 points to the Spurs in that game 2 nights ago. Another poor team, right, Tony? You see where I'm getting at here. When these kind of weaker teams are meeting up right now, we are seeing some higher scores, at least with the grouping of teams that I'm mentioning. The teams just met on November the 7th in that one. 134, 127. Houston got the win. That's 261 points in that one, Tony. That one was at Orlando, but our two guys, everyone loves these guys. Paolo Banchero, 30 points in that game. Jalen Green, sure, he's inconsistent, but he's my favorite young player right now. 30 points in that one for Green. So these two guys will look to get off tonight, I would think. For Orlando, one of the keys certainly has been Markel Fultz. Remember, we wanted to cast him aside, and, well, he's not ready to be an all-star yet, and he's not pouring in the points necessarily, a little over 15 points per game, but he's really steadied the ship there, really looking good running the point there with Orlando, doing a great job. So Markel Fultz has kind of turned his career around a little bit there and helped solidify things with Orlando. Now, Banchero will have a little bit of a tough matchup, I would think, with Gordon tonight. Gordon's a pretty decent defender for Houston, maybe one of the few they got. Certainly, but for Houston, I would think Porter, I would think Smith, the juniors, they can have a good offensive game here, I would think. And also, Tony, a little bit of bummer, Franz Wagner. He is questionable. He would have a pretty good matchup, I would think, against Green. Not exactly good on the defensive end just yet. So hope Franz is in there, but he's listed as questionable currently. So kind of a bummer there when you're looking at trying to get the over, but I'm not as concerned with it. I like this one to go over tonight. Like I said, based on the fact that these two teams do rank poorly in adjusted defensive rating, and they're young teams, and when they get a chance maybe to put on some offense, that's what I look for them to do tonight in this matchup. I hear a lot of opinions on the side going both ways. I mean, Orlando definitely coming in a little bit hotter of a team, but they're, like I said, poor on the road. And Houston has been able to do a pretty decent job at home. They almost crept up near 500 at home so far. So that's a sign of an improved team. I think the teams can get there tonight, getting over this total. Tony, you see it there, 223. Sorry, I sat there and covered myself up the whole video, but the 223 and a half in this one, Tony, I'm looking to go over with Orlando and Houston tonight.
All right, Ramon here. Magic Rockets over 223 and a half. Yeah, we saw that really interesting game there with Orlando. Atlanta, it looked like Atlanta was dead to rights, and they made that big run there in the final 3 minutes to take the lead. They took the lead, and you thought, oh, this is going to be a losing ticket. Orlando's not going to cover it, man. They got in there, almost won the game. It was amazing the way they've been playing. Fultz has gotten healthy. He's back in the lineup. They've been without Carter for some time. We know Isaac, Okeke, and Suggs has been out, but again, Boncaro has been there. They're getting some production from Wagner and this Bull kid. Remember, we saw him in his freshman year at Oregon for Dana Holgerson. We thought he'd be a really good player there, but he got hurt in his freshman year. Comes out really not. We obviously fell a bit in the draft because he didn't play, but Bull's contributed.
Well, he had one of the viral videos of the year just about less than a week ago when he went down, and I don't know if that was a Euro step or he didn't take that one out of his dad's playbook, but he went through the lane. I don't know, it might have been 3 or 4 steps, but his motions and mannerisms and awkwardness a little bit kind of like his dad in a way. I mean, nobody was more awkward than his dad, who was really just a pretty awesome dude, really, when it comes down to it. But missed him when he passed away a long time ago. But Bull's been quite a chip off the old block in a way. Probably shoots a 3-pointer a little better too. But that move was great. Shows that he does have a little bit of versatility too for a big man, right? He's not thick. Certainly his dad was the skinniest dude ever in the league, but Bull definitely didn't necessarily. Yes, I mean I think he had pro prospect on him, but I don't think we expected to see what we're getting right now out of Bull. So I think he's still a development style player, but in this rotation right now, he can get plenty of work and has looked pretty decent so far. And yeah, Bancaro, everything cracked up. Everything's been cracked up to be. I mean, going to be a big time star in the NBA, no doubt about it. And like I said, I love Jalen Green over there as well. Now, those guys, don't necessarily match up, but they do offensively. And Jalen Green, if I had to pick it, Tony, I don't know who's going to be in the dunk contest. I'd put Jalen Green in there for sure. He might be a favorite, actually, if he were in the dunk contest this season. So exciting young talent on both sides. Houston, like I said, I've heard opinions on both sides here. Maybe I lean to Houston a little bit just because of the way that they've been playing at home. It was disappointing for them to lose to San Antonio, which actually has shown a tiny bit of resurgence of late as well. But again, with bad teams, less predictable who's going to win. But I feel like with the total, I feel a little better about it.
Better on the total here. Magic Rockets over 223 and a half. This one to have a start time here of 8 Eastern time. All right, Ramon, let's take a look over at Tony'sPicks.com for tonight's action. Great results here on the ice. Big card from the NBA, 11-game card. Lots of college hoops today as we have games day and night in the holiday season here, as well as the bowl game as well. What do you have going on over at Tony's Picks?
Yeah, couldn't help but notice, like we were talking about some of the crowds last night. And I was watching that game you mentioned, Tony, with University of San Diego and Riverside. And I don't know if you ever seen the Twitter handle empty seats, empty seats picks or something like that. And man, there was nobody at. I know they were all on one side, the side the camera was on.
Yep.
But when you're watching the game, there was like 5 people in the stands.
I've been to that. I've been to that to that. It's all. I mean, actually, it looks better now on TV. It was poorly run over there, and the bench. It's just like it looks like a high school gym when you. It looks bad there in Riverside, but they're not showing up over there.
Yeah, and USD actually end up getting it done. I think you kind of called it there, talking about how can they be laying the points here. Anyway, yeah, tonight, Tony, I'm in the NHL. Back in the NHL for sure with a three-pack of winners tonight for sure. You take a look at that number right there, 3,100 units. This year with Tony'sPicks.com. I got three winners for you right now over at Tony's Picks for $30. Pick them up. They're profit guaranteed. If I don't win, produce a profit with this three-pack of winners tonight, you're going to receive credits to your Tony's Picks account. If I bummed you out, grab a package with some of the other handicappers here at Tony's Picks, or stick with me. I'll bring it back in the NHL for sure. Currently having a pretty strong season in the National Hockey League. So I got a three-pack there. You see it right there. Also, Tony, three-pack of winners in the NBA. You mentioned it. Big card tonight. All of my games going off before 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific. Three winners for you over in the NBA tonight. Definitely like this card. Even might come up with some late steam in this one, Tony. Pretty attractive card tonight. Looking for something maybe in college basketball. And Mindy and I are already involved in a lot of games, certainly over with our Morning Steam account. Remember, if you can't catch our show, we package up our picks over at Tony'sPicks.com and, pass it along for a little bit of a price. But hey, right now, one of our best streaks so far with the Morning Steam this week. So putting up a nice card and winning days so far right now, coming off that 7-3 day. You showed it there on the handicapper leaderboard. We've had pretty strong nights, 3 of the last 4 nights. Pretty good number, pretty good green number over there at Tony'sPicks.com. So don't forget about that one as well. We're also involved in the football game tonight. Mindy gave you that free winner already on the video, but we did have a selection in South Alabama and Western Kentucky. So check out that video as well. So Tony will be involved there. Take a look at my 3-day package right there, $99. Get all my plays. I'm a high volume player, so you definitely get your money's worth with me over at Tony'sPicks.com, or pick up the weekly for $149. Definitely get a lot of picks from me. I'm high volume. High volume leads to high profits, and that's the way I play it over at Tony'sPicks.com.
That's right. High volume leads to high profits. Ramon, give you lots of volume there. Get on board right now. Ramon here on board tonight here over at Tony's Picks with a 3-pack here from the NBA. Also on the eyes with a 3-pack. Both of those profit guarantee. Must turn a profit, or the amount you purchase is credited back in your account for site credits. That is profit guarantee. As well, of course, Ramon was talking about his longer term pass. You want to try them out for 3 days. We have that 3-day pass up there. Affordably priced there at $99. You could use that promo code TonyT at checkout. We'll knock $20 off that, 20% off. So that comes at $79, which is a really good value there. Get all of Ramon's spin plays here for 3 days. We got action Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Got some bowl games in there. Got an NFL in there as well. A lot of it, all his NBA, all his NHL, college hoops, and don't forget I'll also include any late steam. Of course, Ramon, all cappers get their plays in by 11 a.m. Eastern time for the members, but we allow our cappers to post plays late in the system as long as they start between 10 minutes and 2 hours before game time. Those will be triggered as late steam. In green, you'll see those around the site there on the pick ticker, and also on his handicapper page that shows the individual plays. Those plays will be emailed you directly to your members area, into your email that you set up in the members area. So again, you gather the picks here on the 3-day pass on the members area, and then you look on the email when Ramon puts in a pit play late. You'll get that through the email. So that's how the late steam works there. So that's also part of the 3-day pass. It's part of every pass that's there in yellow. Whether it's a seasonal pass, if it's a weekly pass, 1 month pass, or if it's an NHL season long pass, he's got his full season passes from the NBA. All those in yellow include late steam at no extra charge. So that's how that rolls there over at Tony'sPicks.com. So go ahead and get signed up and use the promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access Ramon's page by clicking the link you see in the description. Click in the All Cappers tab and get signed up. All right, Ramon will also put together a Twitter account for you over at Tony's Picks Ramon. And of course, you're also with that morning steam as you're getting ready for the holidays, trying to close out the show here before your break, trying to get all these NFL bowl games in.
Yeah, Tony got a free pick. It's in college football tonight over at Tony's Picks Ramon. It's in a game on the extra board with Bellarmine and Evansville. So head on over to Tony's Picks Ramon, pick up another free winner tonight under the radar, and that's how we like them sometimes. Doesn't matter where it comes from. We just got to get that money. Got a pick for you in Bellarmine and Evansville tonight. So get that pick. Follow all of our cappers at Tony's Picks. Follow their get their handle. Most of it's their first name, but you'll find it. In that little box that always comes up that says follow these. Well, often when you look at one, you'll get like the other three cappers, three more cappers. You can just click on follow there too. Get some more picks that way. Mindy and I'll be back tomorrow with more morning steam, 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific. Yeah, we'll be previewing the rest of the NFL card, and we'll also take a look at the other major sports, basketball, college basketball, and hockey with our chat. We were not clicking today necessarily with the chat, but we'll see what happens because we've been pretty hot listening to them. So it was on Mindy and I a little bit, but we're doing the work, getting it done with the winners over at the Morning Steam. Like I said, if you ever miss the show, you can pick up our picks. You don't have to go back and watch the show necessarily to get our consensus picks. These are games that Mindy and I agree on the show as we break them down. I introduce the game. She breaks down the game. I add my contribution. If we agree on the game, that's a consensus pick. And it goes up on the site, and we resell those. And people are purchasing those as well, especially when we're hot. So make sure that you either watch the show, get a great handicap, and you also can formulate your own opinion sometimes off of our handicap, whether you agree with us or not. We usually give out one or two plays per game, often two, because I'll pivot, if you will, after hearing Mindy's selection. She might be on a premium pick of mine that I don't want to give away, or maybe I'm on the other side and I don't want to necessarily give out two sides. We're trying to give away great information. So I will pivot off my side and go with the total or vice versa, just to give our viewers an extra opinion of the game. Sometimes I have a premium and I've got to go against Mindy because I'm already on the side or something like that. That's fine. That's what it's all about. I mean, handicappers aren't always going to agree necessarily, but quite often, you know what, Tony? Good handicappers, they will agree. And I think that's what happened to us today, Tony. We were breaking down the NFL card, and as we're getting later in the season, maybe the information's a little more clear, but Mindy and I had a consensus pick on nearly every game on the card this week. You're going to get your money's worth if you don't watch the show and subscribe to the picks, or you can go back and watch the show over the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, where we give all the way. You don't have to pay for the picks, Tony, you especially, but you can watch the show as you do and hear all of our picks and breakdowns. But again, you can always go over to the website and buy those picks. Just follow the morning steam over at tonyspicks.com.
That's right. Check out the morning steam over at TonySpeaks.com or over on our YouTube channel. Or those of you that are at work right now, we have the show up on our podcast form, Tony Speaks Podcast, available on all major platforms. I know many of you are working and you can just Bluetooth it in your car. Go to your favorite podcast platform, type in Tony's Picks, we're on all of them, and you'll be able to find the morning. We put every pick in every show in podcast form. You find the morning steam, the full show, listen to it, and on your way home. And we love our truckers out there. Again, don't forget, we're on podcast format. Get the picks via podcast at Tony's Picks Podcast on all the major platforms. All you got to do is search Tony's Picks. You see this graphic art, that'll come up, and you're ready to roll here. Subscribe, and also give us a nice little review. That 5-star, we greatly appreciate that. And of course, listen to the steam on your way home to and from work. That's the way to roll there at Tony's Picks. All right, Ramon, as always, great having your show. Keep up the great work, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
See you then, Tony. Thank you.
Yeah, Ramon.